I'm still curious about the men who say, I will never get married because 50% of marriages end in divorce. And I know the divorce courts are going to sock it to me, and this woman is going to take all my money. Now, I don't get where that comes from because 90% of men are too broke to have any money to share, or the wife out earns the man. In fact, the number of women who out earn their husbands has increased significantly. 16% of wives out earn their husbands. The reason for this is the knowledge economy. There have been a number of economic shocks to the earning capacities of men. See, when I was in the 80s, when I first graduated from college in the 80s, I saw men all around me with high school degrees supporting families. Yes, indeed. How did they do this? They had a house, they had a car, they had a stay-at-home mom, they had kids, and I'll tell you how they did it. I'll tell you what has changed for men. Back then, there were a lot of jobs that were in manufacturing. This was before automation took those jobs away and outsourcing to China, Mexico, Vietnam took the manufacturing jobs and all the associated jobs away. See, when you take away the manufacturing, you also take away all the support industries for the parts and the die and the metal casts and the servicing of the equipment. You take a lot of that away. And so the men that had a high school degree that would work in the coal mines or in the factory, they were actually paid pretty well. Those jobs are gone. They're just gone. They're never going to come back. But those jobs were very well paying. They paid very well. And back in the 80s, people had a lot of what's called like employee benefits. The labor unions were stronger, so people had these union wages. Even the UPS drivers made a lot of money. They had union wages and they had free health care for the family. When I was first married, my ex-husband, at his company, there was health care for the whole family. And they were just starting to shift over at that time from pensions, because everyone had a pension. Pension meaning the company gives you like a social security, you know? They were just shifting over to profit sharing and 401ks that were matched by the employer. But over the years, as my ex-husband stayed with that company, the benefits were cut back. I saw it changing in the workforce to where the healthcare for the whole family was kind of gone, and the employee started having to pay some of the healthcare costs. So men so men were losing these jobs, they were losing the benefits. But another big thing too, you guys, is that the cost of living was so much lower before we had this huge inflation in the cost of education and healthcare. Education, healthcare, those are like the main ones, because people had these small houses. They were happy with smaller houses, and the houses were affordable. Okay, there has been a huge inflation in housing, in education, and in healthcare. In fact, when I went to college, my tuition was, you could pay college tuition from your part-time job or the money you worked at a summer job, unless you went to an Ivy League school. And so with fewer men going to college, with so the economic shocks that I'm talking about are the outsourcing, the automation, and the rise in the knowledge economy. And women just having naturally doing better at things that require sitting and cooperation. The jobs that men really excel at, like the competition, the physical jobs, There are fewer of them, and fewer men want to do them. There's actually, I guess, a shortage of men wanting to be like plumbers and electricians. You know, they want that instant quick money off the internet fame. But overall, more women are now graduating from college than men. And these women are making more money, or maybe sometimes in a couple, the woman gets the promotion and the man doesn't. So for all these reasons, women are out earning men. And so, but in most couples nowadays, both people are working. The number of couples where the man is the sole provider or the higher earner, it's shrinking. And the number of couples that can actually afford to divorce, some can't. They can't afford two households because of the rising cost of living. So the question really is, these men that are saying women are taking all my money in divorce, which women are doing this? I want some examples. And I'm not talking about internet hysteria. I want to know, do you know any people in your life? Okay, if you look at all the people you know who got divorced, think about in how many of the cases the man is paying the woman alimony. Think about it, because I don't know any man who's paying alimony. I know zero. Of all the people I know who got divorced, there's no alimony. There's no child support. Why? Because the woman is working too. She has her own money. And the courts, they use some kind of formulas, complicated formulas, and it has to do with who makes more money. So if you make the same amount of money, no one pays anything. But if one person makes a lot more, that person would pay something, but not enough to where they're homeless. And the people that have a lot of money, they usually have a prenup. So if you're that worried about it, I'm reading this really good book by a divorce lawyer, and he recommends that people get a prenup. And that the prenup consists of mine, yours, and ours. So whatever each of you owns before you get into the marriage is what each of you takes out. And whatever you buy together, somehow you split. And that you actually have a discussion before you get married about how you're going to part your property. If you do get divorced, you should be able to have that discussion, because a lot of women might think getting married is a free ride to being provided for. And providing is not easy. It's a lot of pressure to be the provider. And a man should be able to say to his prospective wife, hey, if we get divorced, this is how I see us splitting our property, because I don't want to pay alimony. And then, just see how she reacts. You want to know this ahead of time. Now, a lot of people seem to hate children. I don't know why. It's very, makes me sad, because children are so important. If the mom was a stay-at-home mom, then her work skills are going to be, have been somewhat deteriorated, her ability to earn an income. And I think there has to be some kind of acknowledgement of that, and let her get a chance to get like some retraining or learn a trade or something. But I've also talked to men who've said, I'm divorced. My wife was a stay-at-home mom. She was a good mom, and I want to take care of her. I'm happy I can pay alimony and child support to this woman, because they don't hate her. So I think this whole thing of I don't want to get married because women take all my money, it comes from hating women and not trusting them and thinking that they're just out to hurt you. And I think that's the real issue, is why some men think that women are out to hurt them, because the facts don't support the idea that women are getting rich in divorces. It's just very rare. It's just very rare because most men don't even have the money to pay anything. You know, most men can't even support a household, let alone two. Okay, and judges don't throw you on the street and take all your money to give to a woman. So it's a very, I just don't see it happening in reality. So what seems to underlie it to me is there are certain men who think women, I can't trust women. Women are going to hurt me, and women are bad, and they're going to hurt me. And I don't know what to help you, how to help you. This is kind of going along with the video I made last night, but I came across an article on Twitter today, which was about, you know, that women are out earning men by 16% in many marriages. And, you know, it again reminds us that where are these women who are taking all your money in a divorce? And also, the number of married people is pretty low. A lot of people are having kids and not even getting married, or just living together, not even getting married. The only people getting married are the college educated, the privileged people. They're still getting married at the same rate they always have. So the college educated people generally do get married. The ones not getting married are like the uneducated people, you know. They're choosing not to get married because they don't feel they have the money to do it. And maybe a lot of the men who say women are just going to take all my money, they really can't afford to get married anyway. So they're feeling like very, you know, very protective of what little they do have. And I don't blame you. If I were a man, I would not want to marry a woman knowing that she could take all my money. So if I were worried about that, I would test her. You know, is this woman happy with, is she frugal? Okay, this is what you want to look for, guys. Does this woman actually care about you? That's what you want to look for. And is this woman like stingy? Is she a gold digger? Is she selfish? Or is she frugal? Does she know how to save? And how does she behave when she's mad at you? Because some people, when they get mad, they want to hurt you. They want to hurt you because they're vindictive. So if you look for a woman who is frugal, that lives within her means, okay? You want to look for a woman that doesn't have a whole ton of debt, buying expensive purses and stuff and travel that she can't afford. So you want to look for someone who's frugal, and look for someone who actually likes you, And when she's mad at you, she doesn't retaliate. She wants to work things out because she's not like a drama person. I think that would be like a good start. And then also talk to her about a prenup. That way you can weed out those people. But ultimately it has to do with not being so guarded and so rigid and so mistrustful of the opposite sex. I think the root of it all is, why am I attracted to people who don't care about me? You know? And kind of testing them a little bit. You know, in the same way that kind of a woman has to test a guy for, is this guy still going to hang out with me if I don't give him sex right away? Does this guy actually like me, or is he just trying to get sex? And I think men have to do the same way with money. Is this woman just with me so I can buy her stuff? Or does she actually like being with me? You gotta be able to test people like that. And I think that should really do it. I think that's an emotional risk taking. That is emotional risk taking and doing a new behavior. Because if you're a woman who's always just leading with sex and you're like, guys, just fuck me and leave me. Well, that's because you're not willing to get to know them because you think they just want sex. And guys who are always leading with money, you know, I'm going to take her on trips. I'm going to pay for her dinner. I'm going to buy her gifts. You're always leading with money, so you don't get to test if she really likes you because you're afraid to find out. So I know a lot of guys watch my videos. I would recommend that when you meet women, that you keep the dates at very low cost. Very low cost. In the same way that she keeps her sexuality kind of at bay. Keep your money at bay and see if she really likes you. Okay, that's what I would do. And here's the challenge for these guys who say women are just gold diggers, is like, what if they're not? Be willing to consider that she's not a gold digger, that be willing to consider a woman actually likes you company, that she might want to just go on a walk with you, or go to a bookstore and discuss philosophy, or go to a symphony or music in the park where she brings the picnic and you pick her up. Like, see if she's willing to do something for you. The picnic is a great idea, actually, because it requires her to prepare food and do something for you. So if you plan a fun date, like, say you guys, I mean, you have to invest something too as the man. I think people have to invest something. People have to be willing to invest some of themselves, their time and their emotions and their resources, without the woman going to sex and the man going to money. So you can really see if you like each other. That's how you're going to eliminate the gold diggers. Because the women I've heard who are the gold diggers, they have kind of an attitude like, I'm not getting dressed up and putting on my makeup for a guy unless he's paying for my dinner. So if those are the women you're going out with, yeah, they're going to try to get everything and retaliate. They're not nice. So I think that you can do a lot of things as a man to weed those kinds out by realizing that your companionship and what you bring and your sense of adventure and fun, planning fun dates, being interested in her, having something going on, that you as a person are valuable enough. That's how you eliminate getting women like that, if you don't know. And I would also, again, I would stick with women who are very natural. You know, like me, a younger version of me. I know, like someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup. You know, I think all that stuff is, I think that women who are more natural are more interested in, you know, the internal life and what they're contributing. I think that the women who do a lot of makeup, a lot of fake hair, like just a lot going on. The Instagram models showing their ass all over their Instagram and their Facebook. I think those women are likely to make, more likely in my opinion as a woman, very likely to be bad relationship partners because they're very perfectionistic or very superficial, and they're more interested in how they look, how you look as a couple, if you have enough money to impress the neighbors, if your house is big enough to impress the friends, because the external is so important to them. So you want to look for someone who's internal, who's very focused on the internal, not just the external. Like they're able to save money, they care about you. Someone who cares about you, you know. Someone who cares about you is going to be kind to you. They're not going to criticize you. So a woman who cares about you, she's going to be kind to you. She's not going to criticize you. She might challenge you. She might say, well, I don't really like this. I would prefer this. But she's not going to say, why do you do this? Or why did you park over here? Or why are you driving like that? Or why are you wearing that? Like, that's all. You can't be around women like that. That's bad. That kind of contempt and criticism, that's bad. You want to look for a woman who is, how was your day today? And really listens to you. And, you know, you told me about this thing with your friend. How's that going? Like someone who remembers what you say. Someone who responds to you. Someone who's interested in you. Someone who likes spending time with you. Not just because you're taking her out to dinner. But that's going to require you asking, why do I think that women are out to get my money, even though I don't have any? It's not even realistic. Even though I don't have any, or if I have a little bit, there's not much to get anyway. Why do I feel so threatened? Why do I think that women are out to plunder me? It's an emotional thing. It's not based in fact. Because if you look around at the world, I'm just repeating myself, you don't really see men losing money in divorce because most men are too broke. And the ones with money have prenups. And I don't know anyone paying alimony. So it's not happening en masse. Okay? It's really more an underlying issue of not trusting women. And the same can be for women watching this video who don't trust men. Because men are just going to cheat on you. They're just going to abuse you. Because you've been abused by men in abusive relationships. Or they're going to not care about you. Or they're just going to want sex from you. Okay, where does that come from? Why do you think that? Because there's so many men out there who are very patient, who are very kind, who are very interested in you, who want to invest in you, and who are going to wait to have sex with you until you're ready. So as a woman, what I've done, and this men can take this away too, is like, okay, I used to think that men just wanted sex from me because I don't know why I thought that. I was like, it's not true. So I'm like, well, what if I act as if they don't? Let me start acting as if they want to get to know me or they just like me. Let me just act as if. So see how our mindset really goes through. So a man might think, let me just imagine a woman really wants to spend time with me. She wants to get to know me. Okay, she wants someone to lead. She likes someone who opens the doors. Let me imagine women like that. And then act as if. I think that's going to be a lot more helpful than being like so worried that women are going to out to get you. Because, yeah, their women are out to get you. Their men are out to get you. But you don't have to attract them or be drawn to them. And the number of women getting your money is just very small. Like, men are just not that rich. Like, most of you guys are just way too broke for anyone to ever get your money, because most men are having trouble supporting themselves, and the men who are in relationships, their wives are working. They can't afford to be a provider. And working women are not going to make out in a divorce. By the way, I'm going to make some more videos from that guy from the divorce book. He's got some really good nuggets in there. But this is all I wanted to say. And also, on that one video I made with the microphones, people were saying that the audio was really bad. So I am not using a microphone anymore because I started making YouTube videos in 2015 and I never had anyone say anything about the audio. There was one person like a month ago who said the audio was really hard. He could barely hear it even on his TV. And so I started this whole microphone thing. But I think maybe he was just hard of hearing. I think he was elderly and hard of hearing. And that's the only conclusion I can make, because when I use the microphone, I think the audio sounds worse. And no one else has ever complained about the audio. So I'm not going to use the microphones anymore. And I kind of like making these videos in my living room, just off the cuff. I don't want to have like a professional studio, a professional mic, because I kind of like this mom vibe, mom in her living room. I'm a grandma, actually. I'm a grandma, and I've got more grandkids on the way. So yeah, I'm a grandma. I'm just like a grandma in my living room, making videos off the cuff. Usually just, I just got up. I haven't even brushed my hair. I brushed my teeth, but not my hair. So just like, okay, I have an idea. I want to make a video. Just when I flow. And that's also why I don't schedule my videos. Some people schedule their videos, like they have it every day or certain days of the week. But I I don't do that. I have to have an idea, and then I kind of think about what I might want to say, and then I just get on front of the camera, and I want it to be like natural. If I start thinking I have to make it on a certain day, then that would be more like having to force something, and I wouldn't be able to free flow. So I want these videos to just come from in me and be like, this is more like feminine energy, because the masculine energy is what I use in my work where I make money. I use my masculine energy, okay? So I have regular things that I'm responsible for, like on my Just for Fans. I post stuff every single day. I go on there every single day to reply to messages. I have things lined up. Or on my my other work, like I have my ads, like I have things lined up, and I'm responsible and accountable, and I have timelines and deadlines and commitments at certain times. But with this YouTube, that's me being more in my feminine energy. Yes, I'm responsible, and I have, my home is clean. I make sure I speak in a clear voice. But as far as the timing, that just is something that flows. It's just a flow. And I like that I can be in this kind of flow and just like, oh, I have an idea. I want to make a video. And I happen to be in my car right now, or I happen to be in my living room right now. And usually the times I like to make them are in the morning. Usually when I wake up, I have like ideas I want to share. And that's how I want to do it. Like, it just feels good to me. And that's why my videos are not like posted at like consistent days and times. I don't even know if anybody really notices, but likewise, if I were reporting on the news, that would be different, because then I would have something like people who are journalists or reporting on true crime. They might see a certain story and now they want to make a comment, or like the royal. I watch several channels who comment on Harry and Meghan. So Harry and Meghan do something, and oh yeah, here's a video I want to make about that. But I don't have those kind of videos. I don't have that kind of channel where I'm reporting on news or events or what someone did. My channel is more about, or like a certain guest I'm interviewing. I don't have that. My channel is very different, in that I'm sharing insights that come to me, or ideas that come to me, or things that I realized, or things that I might want to talk about. So it's more like internally directed. It's not external. It doesn't come from the external. That's why I don't have regular uploads, if you guys understand. It's like I have to wait for an idea about a topic. Or maybe I read something, like I read that article today about I happened to see an article that had to do with women, 16% of wives out earning men. Okay, oh, well, let me make a video about that. If I hadn't seen that, I wouldn't have made this video today, because I already made one like that yesterday. Or like different ideas will come to me. Like I saw something on something about wives not desiring sex with their husbands, and I was like, how do women create desire, especially if they need to create desire for a sugar daddy? So I made that on my membership area, how to create desire for a sugar daddy, because I have sugar daddies. So how do I create desire for a man that I have no desire for? So I made a video about that in the membership area, because I thought that was really good. So I try to use some of my own experiences. But if you want to be a member, I'm going to put the link to the membership area in the description of this video. But if you're subscribed, once you subscribe, next to the subscribe, there's a little button called join. It's underneath each video. That's where you can join for the membership. It's $4.99 a month. And on there, I talk about things that have to do more with having the sugar daddy stuff. That's going to be just in the membership area. Or the experiences I've had that I've learned, like more like sexual things that I've learned or picked up along the way. Are they going to be like kind of in that area just for people who really want to see that? And that way on my main channel, I'll be my main channel will be more like, you know, PG stuff. So you don't have to be a member at all, but there's certain things I don't want to put, like, I'll just share with people who want to be members. That's all, you know. But yeah, you don't have to be a member. But if you like my videos, just hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified. And then again, the join button is next to that. So, and if you want to talk to me, I also schedule phone calls with people who just want to talk. Sometimes people just want to talk and have someone listen. So go to my website, sharzadmorgan.com, and you can schedule a phone call, like a conversational phone call. You just want someone to talk to. And I think I charge $150 for an hour-long phone call. So you send a payment. You have to send a payment along with filling out the form, and then I'll get back to you and we can schedule the call. If you just want to email me, I'm not going to reply to that. But if you have ideas for videos, just leave it in the comments. I am reading the comments again because YouTube has done a really good job of filtering out like the riffraff and the trolls. So I have been reading the comments again. And I learned stuff from you guys reading the comments. Occasionally I have to block someone, but it's pretty rare anymore. Anyway, thank you for watching my video.